Donuts and traffic. It's donuts and traffic. Donuts and traffic. That's the name of the show.
Hello, and welcome to Donuts and Traffic, the show where we eat donuts and talk about traffic. I'm your host, Doug Dahl, and in each episode, I'll be inviting a guest to join me as we have a conversation about traffic-related stuff. Since this is a new series and this is the first episode, I thought it would be appropriate to talk to a new driver. So today with me is Odelia Dahl. And it's not a coincidence that her last name's Dahl. She is also my niece, which I'm hoping will result in some incriminating comments about my brother, her dad. Thanks for joining me today, Odie.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
So before the show, I asked you what your favorite donut was, and you said you like all kinds. So what's it going to be?
I'd have to go first with, if you're okay with it, the jelly filled.
Take it.
Okay.
I'm kind of partial to sprinkles today. All right, so how long have you been driving?
I've been driving for 8 months, starting in May, and it is now January.
All right. And it's been a while since some people like me have gotten their driver's license.
Yeah.
So for those of us who it's been a while for, tell me what was going through your mind the first time you got the keys and had the car to yourself?
The first time, it was my birthday, so that was exciting. And so I got the keys, and I was driving to some house I'd never been to. So it was my first time having to drive by myself and also use the little app, the Google whatever app.
The navigation?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was hard to concentrate on the road and then also concentrate on the app. So that might not have been the best idea, but it was good, and it helped me go slower because I had to look at the little thing.
So some driver's ed questions for you. Do you feel like driver's ed adequately prepared you to drive?
Yes, I do, but I don't really think it was necessary. You could go many different ways and still have the same information. So there's a guidebook, and I only partially read it because I got taught all the information in the classes, but I could just read it too and not have to watch all the videos that were kind of repetitive. But also driver's ed had the little drives that you could do, which were very helpful.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Would you say driver's ed was not challenging enough? Too challenging? What do you think?
It wasn't challenging.
Okay.
You just kind of had to sit there and listen.
Okay.
And then at the end you had this test, but it was pretty much on what they taught you. So you just have to pay attention, which is the hard part.
Did you spend a lot of time practicing outside of class?
The day of the test, yeah.
Okay.
But not really. Do you mean drives or knowledge?
Driving.
Driving, yeah. I would drive to and from school and pick up siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I got my driver's license, there was no IDL or intermediate driver license. And so basically you could just stuff a bunch of friends in your car and go, which in retrospect was kind of a terrible idea. Do you think the IDL rules work?
Yes, but I don't think it was really necessary for me. And it kind of was just a bummer that I couldn't drive my friends when I knew I wouldn't do anything stupid.
Yeah. Do you think most young drivers are following the rules? No?
No, I don't. I know of many who don't. But
You want to name names?
I could.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Besides, my mouth is plumbing to this a little bit. It's harder than I thought to have an interview while I'm eating food. Have you had any scary moments or close calls since you've been driving? And you can be totally honest, because if there's anything you say that could concern your parents, we can edit it out.
Okay. Yeah. I was driving on the freeway the first time, and I didn't know really about lane changing or when someone's merging onto the freeway, what you're supposed to do. So I was just kind of going, and then I saw a car right next to me, and my dad was like, "Oh, switch lanes." So then I did, but I didn't check my blind spot, which is not you have to check your blind spot. And so I switched lanes, but there's a car right there, so I hit it. And then it was so scary. And so Dad like took the wheel and he was like, "Don't do that." And I was like, "I'm sorry, you told me to." And so then we got off the next exit and then we like exchanged insurance and stuff, but she was really nice. And so nothing happened, but we did dent both the cars. It was scary.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah. What's the best part about having a license?
Probably, I'd say, like, just getting to make your own plans and doing them.
So are there any downsides of having a license?
Yeah, gas. You have to pay for gas. And also drive siblings, which is okay, but sometimes you're just laying in bed and you're like, "Can you pick up my little..." Okay. And use my gas.
And use your gas. Do you find it's harder to drive when they're in the car?
No.
No.
It's pretty much the same.
Do you find it's harder when your friends are in the car?
Not really. Sometimes, yes. But usually, no. Because I just give them the music and they can pick it. And it's not really a problem.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so here's the tough question. Are you a good driver?
I think I'm a good driver. Like, I follow the rules nicely, and I don't really speed. Sometimes I do, but that's when everyone else is speeding. And, but I don't really take turns very well. Like, I don't slow down enough, so when I have people in the car with me, they're always like, "Oh my gosh." But I don't really notice it when I'm driving myself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Are there any things you do that you think make you a better or safer driver?
Just kind of being aware all the time instead of zoning out or going on my phone. I just kind of pay attention to everything.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Since driver's ed is still pretty fresh for you, you probably know the rules of the road better than a lot of older drivers. So are there any things that your dad's done that you call him out on?
Yeah, he does not use his blinker almost ever. And it's frustrating, especially like I'll say blinker and there's nobody behind us and he's like, "There's no one behind us, so why do I have to use my blinker?" Well, because it's a law. You have to use your blinker.
And by now you've been driving long enough to notice other drivers too. Is there something you've noticed that other drivers are doing that really bugs you?
Definitely when driving like through the parking lot with all the other high school kids, they're just being dumb. And so it's not very fun. And that's annoying.
Okay, I put this question in for the old people, like 30 and older. What do you think about roundabouts?
I like them. They're better than stoplights.
What's one piece of advice that you either got or wish you had got before you started driving?
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
So every time since I hit that car, my dad says like mirror blinker blind spot.
Oh.
And so I always do that.
Good.
And I'd say that's some good advice.
That is some good advice. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate it, Odie. And thank you for watching Donuts in Traffic. Drive safe.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right.
You can eat a donut, you can drive a car, but I wouldn't recommend doing both, not at the same time. So instead we'll just eat some donuts as we talk about driving cars and riding bikes and walking around and taking public transit and other traffic-related stuff. Donuts and traffic, it's donuts and traffic. Donuts and traffic, that's the name of the show. Donuts and traffic, donuts and traffic, donuts and traffic, that's the name, that's the name of the show.